Hi, this is Matt from Pasta Recipes Made Easy. In this quick recipe video, I'm going to show you how to make this, which is probably my favourite pasta dish. This is pasta alla norma, which is pasta with a tomato and fried aubergine or eggplant sauce. It's a wonderful dish, takes 20-25 minutes, and once you try this combination of eggplant and tomato, it's in a few Italian dishes, you're really going to make this again. It's fantastically scrumptious. Pasta alla norma, here's how to make it. Okay, so step one. Here we've got our eggplant or aubergine. This is a medium-sized one, and we're just going to use this because this recipe is going to serve 2 people. So this is the only really major step of this recipe. We're just going to remove the green ends first, or the green end. We'll cut off just the tip of the other end. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut it into long slices, and we're going to remove the centre. So what we're looking for is to make French fry shapes, just with this centimetre of flesh next to the skin. So let me see if I can show you a bit better. I find cutting it into quarters usually is a reasonable starting point. And then, no, actually I'd say eighths. So cut it into eighths, doesn't have to be perfect. So we've got it in pieces like this. Now, as you can see, we're going to cut out the middle flesh, so we're just keeping the skin and the centimetre of flesh next to the skin, like you can see here. Then we'll cut that a bit thinner. Think kind of thick French fries. Cut it like this. Now we're going to cut it into maybe 5 centimetre or, I don't know, 2.5 inch sections, like so. This is what we're looking for. We're just going to do that with the rest, and just throw these in a bowl of salted water for the time being so they don't go brown. So first step, cut it into little French fry shapes like this, and we'll move on to step 2. Okay, step 2, we've got a pan of frying oil here. This is vegetable or sunflower frying oil, about 1 centimetre deep or 1/2 inch. We've dropped in a peeled garlic clove, which we've just allowed to go brown for 2 or 3 minutes. And now you can see I've already started. We're dropping in the eggplant. So take that out of your water, just give that a good squeeze. And we'll drop that in here. Maybe a little bit too hot. The one thing we're missing at present is we would normally stick 10 fresh basil leaves in here as well. I'm afraid I don't have them today, we've just run out, but you're just going to have the aubergine slices, a bit of garlic which went in earlier, and some basil leaves. So 10 or 15 fresh basil leaves drop in there. For the meantime, we'll concentrate on putting the eggplant in. So this is in your frying oil. Give that a good mix. Should be really well coated, and I'm going to fry this on a medium heat for around 8 or 9 minutes, just until it's soft enough that you can push through one of the French fry shapes with a wooden spoon, and it will come apart in half. So we'll give this 8 or 9 minutes, and then we'll come back. So this is around 7 or 8 minutes later. We're just going to take the top off here. Now these are nicely cooked, and you should just be able to see, if I take one of these French fries, I'm going to be able to chop that in half with my spoon quite easily. You can see I've gone straight through there. Which means they're ready to take out. And what we're going to do, we've got a plate with some kitchen paper on it. Show you here, nice and absorbent. We're going to scoop these out and try not to take lots of the oil with us. We're just going to pop these, press them down into the plate a little, pop these on a plate, and they are just going to sit there and soak away a little bit of the excess oil while we deal with the rest of the tomato sauce. You can see I've grabbed the garlic there as well, because I usually take that out around this point. It's already given its flavour to the sauce, so we don't need that anymore, unless you like crunching on full garlic cloves, but it's not my cup of tea. So just pop them onto our paper, and then we're going to cover this with another layer of paper just to really absorb everything. And then we'll simply pour away this frying oil, and we're on to the next step. Okay, next, so we've poured away the frying oil. We're going to put a good glug of olive oil in there. And now we've got a 400 gram or a 7 ounce tin of plum tomatoes. Just going to let the oil heat up for a minute, and then we're going to pop these tomatoes in there. So this is the rest of our sauce basically. You'll find 4 or 5 plum tomatoes. Lovely sound. Voila. And to salt these, what I find usually works well, you need salt in the sauce to bring out all the fresh sweet taste of these tomatoes. I normally found 1 pinch per plum tomato works. So not a huge pinch, just forefinger and thumb. And that normally works pretty well for the sauce. So we're just going to heat these through in their olive oil on a medium hob. And at this point, as you know, I'm out of basil, but I would normally throw in a few more basil leaves at this point. So heat these through, just cover them for a couple of minutes. What we're going to do is heat them through for a couple of minutes until they soften, and then we're just going to break them up with a fork, and then we'll do the rest of the sauce. So let's cover these for a couple of minutes and we'll come back when they're soft. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes, 2 or 3 minutes just to soften these up. And we're just going to break them up with a fork. You can see they're quite easy to break up. Don't go mad, we just need to break them into larger chunks. You want your sauce quite chunky really for pasta alla norma, so it doesn't need to be super smooth like a blended kind of sauce. Just break them into big chunks. So this is a typical tomato sauce in these 2 stages. We soften for 2-3 minutes, break them up very roughly, and now we're going to leave it open because you're going to evaporate a bit of the liquid as it cooks. And this will cook for, I would say on a medium heat, probably another 10 or 12 minutes, until the sauce loses a bit of its liquidity and a bit of its sourness as well. If after 10-15 minutes they're still a bit sour, just throw in a pinch of sugar and that will do the trick. So we'll cook this through until you can see it's a little bit less liquidy. Okay, we've cooked our tomato sauce for roughly around 10 minutes. You can see it's much less liquidy, and it also tastes, doesn't taste sour at all, it tastes nice and sweet now. So we're just going to take, you remember our eggplant fried pieces over here, just going to pop these into the tomato sauce. Just have to scrape them off your paper there. This really is a fantastic combination. Fried aubergine or eggplant and tomato. It's a real Italian winner. Give these a good stir through, and then we're just going to take these off the heat while we cook up the pasta. So give them a good stir through. Delicious, look at that. Lovely. Pop that to one side. Just take that off the heat. And now we've got a big pan of boiling, pretty well salted water, which is just about ready for the pasta to go in. I'll just move you around there. Here we go. So these are rigatoni, is basically any chunky short pasta. Pop those in there. And then when that comes back to the boil, we're going to cook this as per its packet's timings, which in this case is 14 minutes. So we'll see you when the pasta's ready and drained, and we're on with the final step. Okay, our pasta's just finished boiling. We're just draining that. And here we have the sauce. We've just popped that back on the heat for a couple of minutes, just a medium heat. And what we're going to mix in is a couple of tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese. That will do nicely. So we're going to give this a good stir through. So this is on a medium heat hob. Maybe even a little bit more. Good 2 or 3 tablespoons really makes the dish. We'll finish that. Give it a good stir through. So thicken it up even more and give you a nice cheesy consistency. And now we have our drained pasta that we're going to drop in here. And the way we like to serve it is we're just going to mix that all the way through. So don't have this on a super high heat. We're not looking to fry the pasta, just to keep the sauce warm while we mix it all through. What you can also then do is when you serve, if you have some soft ricotta cheese, just pop a blob of that on top. Or real Sicilian style, grab some salty ricotta, some hard salty ricotta cheese. And there it is, pasta alla norma, or pasta with eggplant or aubergine. Buon appetito!